What up, what up? This is Ace the OG. Back with another topic, back with another video. So the title of this video is going to be, subject is, broken women date broken men. So admin notes, thanks again to all the subscribers to the channel. I endeavor to keep pushing this video out. You leverage, do better yourselves. Let's get into it. So, why do broken women date broken men? So, you know, they're saying like, you are what you eat, you are who you date. That's real talk. So, I'm putting this out there because a lot of women that I've met in my life, a lot of women, to include family members, have really blamed men for the failures and the difficulties they've had in their lives, right? And, you know, I'm looking back at like who they're dating, who they married, who they have kids with, and I'm like, you know, I don't know some of these guys personally, but I'm like, what did you expect? Do you think that a different outcome is going to happen over time, right? You know, for the most part, women, I'm just gonna be real. For the most part, men normally don't change their character. Like if you meet a guy and he's a certain way, character-wise, for the most part, he's not going to change. He may get better over time, you know, as far as like, you know, growing up and being more mature. But if he has certain tendencies, if he acts a certain way or moves a certain way, unless something drastic happens in his life or his maturity level like really gets to the point where like he feel like he needs to change, the package you got is really what you're gonna get, and it's gonna stay like that. Regardless of what you do, regardless of how good you are to him, your actions not gonna change who he is as a person. That's just real. So I'm gonna give you a story that I saw on the internet, Fraternity Court. Sometimes for some reason that particular show shows up in my YouTube feed. I think my wife sometimes watches it or whatever. We share the YouTube channel sometimes. So it came up one day and I was bored. I like, let me go and just let it play out, right? So this one lady, and I haven't seen these episodes that much, but you know, out of all the ones that I've seen over time, I'm not even gonna front. Like, I really felt sorry for this woman. And you know, when I see these things, these court shows about paternity, all these other things, for the most part, I'm on the guy's side because it's like you chose to be with this person. You know what I'm saying? The woman, that is. But anyways, long story short, with this particular case, so the lady says that him and this guy, that of course the guy was there with her because they're trying to figure out if the guy that she's with on the show is he the father of the child, right? But she said straight up, like from the beginning of the show, that like him and her were just a friends of benefits for like 12 years. No commitment, you know, no boyfriend or girlfriend, none of that. They literally were just friends of benefits. And of course, over time, he's had girlfriends, she had boyfriends, and even the times that they were actually dating somebody else, they were still having sex, right? So I'm like, okay, bet, you know what I'm saying? Like, they've been dating for 12 years, often, well, I guess it's dating, but they say they're just friends benefits, right? But anyways, you know, she gets pregnant, and, you know, she's trying to find out if he's the father. She says he's the father, right? But he doesn't think so. And then, you know, the show goes on and he gives his spiel, she gives her spiel. And then towards the end of the show, before the judge reads the results, she starts crying and she admits that she's in love with him, right? So basically what happened was that over time, as they're being friends of benefits, she started catching feelings and he didn't, to a certain degree, right? But she understood what the situation was, and she didn't want to, I guess, impede on him or like, you know, put him in a situation where he had to make a choice. Like, okay, well, this woman says that she's in love with me, and I don't love her, so I'm just gonna stop messing with her totally. And she didn't want that. She wanted to still keep messing with him, still be around him. So she basically sacrificed her feelings in order to keep having access to him and vice versa. And it was pretty sad because the way she explained herself to the judge, I'm like, you know, for the most part, this guy's never gonna commit to you. He's never gonna date you at all, period. He's not gonna do that. Let me explain something to y'all women. That I think a lot of times women get in their feelings when it comes to this situation, when it comes to these type of things. But let me emphasize this for you one more time so you guys don't get it confused. A guy can care for you, like really, really care for you, and never date you, never commit to you, ever. And that's real. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. If you're a woman watching this video right now and you've dealt with a guy before, right? You and him are just, y'all just having casual sex, but y'all not having any type of commitment or anything like that, right? Y'all both agreed on it. But for whatever reason, the guy doesn't want you to be with anybody else. He just wants exclusive access to you, but he still wants to go out and do his thing, right? So if he finds out that you've been messing with somebody else, he gets upset, right? So I don't want women to get confused when it comes to this. Men are very territorial. We're naturally like that. That's biology. I don't care how much a guy says that he just wants to have a friends with benefits type thing. What he really saying is that he wants to have access to you only. He wants him to be the only person you have access to as far as sexual. And he doesn't want you to do anything else outside of that. And if you do anything like that outside of the friends benefits, he's going to get upset. That's the bottom line. So in order for him to be upset, he has to have feelings, right? So he does have feelings for you. Problem is that his feelings are not the way that you would have feelings for a guy. His feelings are, I don't want this woman to be with anybody else sexually, but I don't love her, and I don't want her to be my woman, but I still will have access to her. That's the type of emotion and feelings that a guy will have for certain women, right? But women normally don't operate like that. When a woman actually starts being with a guy in a physical sense, I don't care how hardcore this woman thinks she is, eventually over time, she's gonna start catching feelings. The guy may catch feelings to a certain degree as well, but in his mind, for the most part, when it comes to guys, they already know if they're gonna actually want to date you or not from the jump. So if he's just being sexual with you, and he's on the fence as far as like not being with you and not commit to you, you're spinning your wheels. He's never gonna be with you like that. He's just not. There are some exceptions. I totally get that, but we operate in reality, not fantasy. So if you're a woman, you operate in fantasy, and you're thinking that if you keep getting this guy sex over and over and over again, that he's going to commit to you, you're living a dream world. You're delusional. You are, seriously. A guy could be with you, however times he wants to, never catch feelings, be with other women, but then get pissed off with you with you being with somebody else. That's just the way guys work. We're very territorial. We want to have access to multiple women, but not have the woman have access to anybody else. That's the way men think. But I think a lot of times women get confused and they think that him getting pissed off at you being with somebody else is him saying that he loves you or he wants to be with you. That's not the case, women. That's not. He just don't want you to be with anybody else. Period. That's just it. He doesn't want you to be with anybody else sexually, but he still wants he wants you to have access to him. So don't get confused with that. So I say this to caveat with the video because it's a character thing. The guy's character is telling you that all he wants to do is just be with you sexually. And and to a certain degree, sometimes that could be a brokenness on the man's part. But for some reason, women like this. Women like challenges. Women like the drama. They like the BS, right? So they'll still keep messing with this guy, knowing this guy ain't no good for her. Oh, and by the way, going back to that Fraternity Court video, come to find out the child was not his, and she went ballistic. She was balling out of control, and all that told me is that even though she dealt with this guy for 12 years, just sexually, she loved him so much that she really, really wanted to be pregnant by him because she wanted to have some type of permanent connection to him. Didn't happen. The child was not his. So, in a sense, she is broken to a certain degree, and the guy is as well, because they're both broken. They're both going back and forth with each other, right? And it's like it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any logical sense for women to keep bashing men all the time when their lives are messed up, when you was broken, messed with a broken guy. The guy's not going to change, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I put it like this. Let me go and retract that to a certain degree, because I am a Christian, right? And I do believe that redemption is real. Being a new creature in the Lord is real, because when you're saved, you're supposed to change, right? And I know for myself, I did that. I got saved and I changed. Now, am I perfect? Do I still do wrong? Do I still sin? Absolutely I do. I have to ask for God's grace and mercy every single day, because I sin every single day. I'm not perfect, right? But can I say I'm the same person that I was before I got saved? I'm not. I'm not even close to the same person I was before I got saved. Not even close. So there is something to say about a guy being changed through God. So there is a way for a guy to change through Christ. But if the guy doesn't have God in his life, and he's showing you who he is, and he's broken, that means something wrong with you as well. Because for whatever reason, y'all both are attracted to each other. Broken people attract broken people. That's really what it comes down to. You know what I'm saying? So instead of you getting mad at the guy and get pissed off at the guy by being who he is, you need to actually take some accountability for yourself. I'm talking to women. You need to take accountability for yourself and try to figure out what is wrong with me that keeps having me being with all these broken men, having babies with all these broken men, having all these failed marriages with broken men. I must be broken, because if I'm broken, that means these guys are being attracted to me. They're broken, and we all broke together. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying like in a monetarily sense. Of course, there are broke guys out there just like it's broke women. I totally get that. You know what I'm saying? But women get in their feelings too much when it comes to these type of situations, and they're blinded by what the guy's doing, and they're saying it's his fault. It's his fault. It's his fault. It might be his fault to a certain degree to a lot of things. But you got to take accountability for your actions also as well, because you can't expect a different outcome with a guy. Like I said, if he's showing you who he is from jump, then you giving him sex, you doing everything for him, you caring for him, you showing him that you love him, is not going to change him. He got to change for himself. Real talk. So let's stop doing that, y'all. Let's start getting a situation to where we are looking at guys being broken, but then we're not realizing we're broken ourselves, because it's a real thing. So seek therapy, get a relationship with God, and fix yourself. Ask God to fix you, and in turn, the guy may be fixed, and then y'all can be happy ever after. All right. So if you want me to discuss a topic or a subject you think benefits to the channel, email me findingfitnessfolk@gmail.com. My email address is in the description below. Finding Fitness and Folk, Triple F, I'm gone.